Okay guys, this is going to be the last video for the week. It's going to be a shorter one. I'm going to pull up a couple of news articles on the screen and walk you through them, explain what's going on and summarize them to you. I'm going to show you a short video clip, and then we'll work on the worksheet titled Government Response. We started it the other day, did a couple of the questions. We'll do a couple of more, and then you should be able to finish it out on your own. I hope you guys are doing well, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon. The first news story I want to show you is from clevelandscene.com, and it says Mahoning County leads Ohio in total COVID-19 deaths and per capita cases. So I'm going to summarize this and read a couple paragraphs to you. With one additional COVID-19 death in the past 24 hours, Mahoning County now has a total of 10, the most among Ohio's 88 counties. So we have more deaths from coronavirus than any other county in Ohio. Mahoning County is home to Youngstown and Boardman. With a steady rise in reported cases since the weekend, Mahoning now also leads the state in hospitalizations per capita, which means we have one of the densest concentrations of COVID-19 spread. So it's getting so serious that the sheriff actually got on Facebook and posted a video urging people to stay home and not to leave their house unless it's absolutely necessary. And I'm going to show you that video clip in just a second.
Hi, Mahoning County. Sheriff Green here. I think this is as good a time as any just to give a very strong reminder to those of you out there in Mahoning County to follow Governor DeWine and Dr. Acton's basic lockdown rule or stay-at-home order. I don't believe enough people have been taking this seriously. This is very troubling to me. Today is March 31st. 2020, and currently Mahoning County is third of all 88 counties in Ohio with the Corona-19 virus. Mahoning County is also number one per capita of the coronavirus. That is very troubling to me. What the reasons are, I'm not sure of, but I think we all need to really take a good look at ourselves and make sure we're only going out when something is absolutely necessary. Otherwise, stay home. If you have to go to the grocery store, go by yourself. Don't go with anybody else, and make sure you're separate from other people. Those with essential jobs and essential businesses, if you're the owner of the business, make sure there's cleaning areas and you're keeping the place sanitized. And also make sure your people are separate enough from each other so they can't be spreading this virus or this pandemic any further. One of the things I think we've all seen is when you've been out in the park and the governor has deemed it okay to go to parks, bike trails, out in the open, walking your dog. We've all seen that people aren't following those orders of staying separate from each other. They're clustering at times in groups. That is very troubling. When you're not following these orders, you can be spreading this virus unnecessarily. We've been told that in the next couple to next few weeks, this thing is going to peak. We all need to do what we can to keep everyone safe. My office, the health department, we're in constant contact with each other. We're in contact with the governor's office, the CDC. We're doing what we can for supplies. And it really is about saving lives. And I think people really need to start taking this very seriously. Stay at home. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Dr. Amy Acton Wednesday reported that Ohio now has 2,547 cases of COVID-19 with 679 hospitalizations and 65 deaths. Cuyahoga County has totaled 9 deaths, the second most behind Mahoning County, and most of the coronavirus testing is going on in Northeast Ohio. Okay, this next article I want to show you is also from clevelandscene.com, and it says Mike DeWine is dispatching the National Guard to Cleveland, to Columbus and Cincinnati to prepare for coronavirus cases spiking. So Governor Mike DeWine announced Wednesday that he has deployed the National Guard to Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati to help prepare for a surge in COVID-19 cases, expected by medical experts to hit a peak near the end of April or the beginning of May. So to prepare for the anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000 new cases per day, DeWine said that officials had separated into 3 regions Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, Dayton, and those were going to be the areas they were most focused on. Right now, DeWine said there's space in the hospital because they've canceled all surgeries and procedures that are considered elective. So things that did not necessarily need to happen right now. Things that could wait, those are being canceled to make sure there's space in the hospitals. They're also working on building out the hospitals, coming up with temporary places where they can make like pop-up hospitals. In Cleveland, both Huntington Convention Center and the IX Center have been floated as potential field hospitals for overflow capacity. DeWine mentioned that unused college dorms, hotel rooms, and unoccupied medical offices might also be considered to help deal with all the extra cases and people coming in suspecting they have coronavirus or might actually have it. The last news clip I want to show you is from CNBC.com. It says the White House is not currently planning a fourth stimulus package or a fourth relief bill. The Democrats are outlining their priorities, asking for more legislation to respond to the pandemic after the approval of the $2 trillion stimulus package. And Trump says he wants to focus on spending the $2 trillion on an infrastructure plan. So I'll explain what that means in a minute too. So, since President Trump signed the bill into law Friday, House Democrats have started to outline their priorities for another piece of legislation to combat the rampant unemployment and a healthcare system overwhelmed by the COVID-19 patients. So, what they're saying is the things the government is already doing, the payments that are going to be coming out in a couple weeks, the unemployment benefits that are extended, the extra $600 that comes on top of unemployment, they are saying that there's going to need to be more done, and they're discussing what steps to take next. The president calls for a $2 trillion plan to overhaul the American infrastructure as the country recovers. So, what that is saying is once this all settles down and they get the spread under control, Trump wants to boost the economy by paying American citizens to work to repair roads, bridges, and things like that. So, he wants to give jobs to do repairs that our country needs. That's called infrastructure. So, right now, there is only executing phase 3, the official said. Under the biggest emergency spending package in U.S. history, the administration will oversee the distribution of $300 billion in direct payments to people. So that's what we talked about in the last video, where each person can get $1,200, and if they have children, it's $500 or $600 per child as well. They're also going to give out $350 billion in small business loans to help out companies that have to close down during this, and $500 billion in loans and grants to big companies and hospitals and giant companies like the airlines and the cruise ships and those people who are losing a lot of business right now. So an official said hopefully they do not need to pass any more bills, that these steps will be enough and the coronavirus spread will slow down and be controlled before they have to take another step. One of Donald Trump's cabinet members, the Secretary of Treasury, Steven Mnuchin, said that the $2 trillion bill they just passed to give out money to families and businesses should be enough to keep the economy going for 3 months. And he acknowledged that if this coronavirus goes on longer than 3 months, that they may need to pass another bill. He said, if we need more programs and more money, we will be going back to Congress and asking for that. So on the worksheet, government response, the last one in the packet, we talked about a couple more things you can fill in. What has the local government done in response to the coronavirus? So think about that Facebook post I showed you when the sheriff was urging people to stay home. So we could say the sheriff's post about social distancing and staying home. Now, there are some cities where if you are breaking the rules and you are having parties, you can get ticketed and fined and even arrested. But in Ohio, the sheriff is basically just asking people to please be responsible and take this seriously. So we could say the sheriff's post about social distancing. We can say that the schools and businesses are closed. Okay, so let's go down to number 3. What has the state government done in response to the coronavirus? So in the last video, we saw that Mike DeWine had delayed voting. He called in the National Guard in this video to offer assistance with hospitals and to support the communities. So you could put down that he's called in the National Guard. So, number 5. What has the federal government done in response to the coronavirus? So we already have the stimulus bill. In the article we read today, it had mentioned a couple of different things. There was the $2 trillion infrastructure bill that Trump wants to get passed so they can put people back to work once this is over. He also has asked companies like Ford and GM to start making medical equipment instead of cars. So he's asking companies for help. And number 7, which government officials has he been working with? Talked about President Trump, Vice President Pence, and then in the story we read today, it mentioned one of his cabinet members, the Secretary of Treasury. See if you can look back through the video or figure out who his Secretary of Treasury is. If you have any questions, comment on the video and I'll help you out the best I can.